WEMBY this, WEMBY that. What about the real Victor Wembanyama stopper? Karl-Anthony Towns, aka Cat. All season long they said New York couldn't do it, but one man had other plans. Karl-Anthony Towns silenced every doubter, dominating the playoffs, leading the Knicks back to the NBA Finals for the first time in decades. But standing in his way, the future of basketball, the alien, Victor Wembanyama. Power versus length. Experience versus destiny. New York versus San Antonio. Two superstars, one championship. And so far, Cat has been completely dominating his matchup, averaging 11 rebounds a game, 17.3 points, and 5.6 assists so far, absolutely shutting down Wemby's supposed destiny of becoming the greatest NBA player to ever touch the court. Towns helped the Knicks go up 2-0 and get to go home to the most hostile environment in the history of basketball, Madison Square Garden. And today, I want to replicate a Karl-Anthony Towns build in NBA 2K26 so that y'all can dominate just like his 2026 playoff run. Now, before I show y'all my customized version of the Karl-Anthony Towns build, I want to show y'all what I'll be basing my stats off of, and that's the NBA 2K template version of him. But on my build, I'll be trying to aim for important badges and stats that you need to have to basically have fun and to have a usable build in this game that you're going to enjoy spending $100 plus on. So an important one to highlight is the 93-point shot. Cat might be the best shooting center in the league right now, so having that 93-point shot to unlock Deep Bomber Takeover is absolutely necessary to have on this type of build. Now, I don't think they do justice with the strength. I think the strength should at least be a 91. If you've been watching this NBA Finals, he's been making Wemby kind of look like a little boy out there versus a grown-ass man, so I want to get that strength raised a little bit there. The vertical, Cat's been averaging 10.8 rebounds a game across the playoffs this year, so basically 11 rebounds, so I don't think a 71 vertical does justice here to be able to hit that threshold. I think the interior defense is a little bit high. I don't see Cat known as a defensive shot blocker, so I'll probably lower that a little bit there on my customized build. I don't think that's necessary to have, and we might raise that block a little bit to an 84 instead. The offensive rebound is too low. I don't think you get 11 boards a game only getting defensive rebounds. I think you need a higher O board here, so my customized version will probably have a higher O board. The ball handle and speed with ball makes sense for the build's attributes. I mean, they have Cat listed at 248 pounds. NBA 2K has him at 255 on their template, which is relatively close. Maybe he just ate a full-ass meal or something, but, you know, the ball handle makes sense. The speed with ball makes sense. The driving dunk, I think, can be a little bit higher, you know? Cat just dunked on Wemby's head and screamed in his face, and I know Wemby kind of shit his pants a little bit. You could tell by his offensive performance, he's looking a little bit shaky. So that driving dunk, we may be able to get a little bit higher depending on how we make the build. The standing dunk of a 92, it's either you're going to go 95 or 90. I don't think 90 there's a reason for 92, so we'll see what we do there. The post control makes sense. I'll probably aim right for 87 post control. Cat's really good in the post, whether it's in the midi or down low. The close shot, to me, seems a little bit high. I don't know how often I've been watching him in this playoffs just do like a little close shot floater and all that. He's a sniper from deep, he's a sniper in the midi, or he's just head down to the rim trying to draw a foul or dunk on his opponent. The driving layup makes a little bit sense, so we may copy that there, but in general, I'm going to try to shoot for a version sort of like this, but we're aiming for the fun stats that you want to have, the necessary stats and badges that you want to have, just so the build is more usable and more fun for y'all. Now, jumping into my version of the custom template of Karl-Anthony Towns, we got him as center. Online, he's listed at 7 foot 248, so we're going something similar. We got height 7 foot, 247 weight, and a wingspan of 7 feet so that we can get that Deep Bomber Takeover badge. Starting with the physicals, the speed ends up being a 69, your agility ends up being a 57, your strength, we're bringing that to an 86, and we're going to use 5 cap breakers here later to get it to a 91 to really highlight that strength presence he has over Wemby throughout the finals. The vertical, we're bringing it to an 83 to get that pogo stick badge. Your D board, we're bringing it to a 92 to get that gold rebound chaser badge. And your O board, we're bringing it to an 85. We're going to use 5 cap breakers here to get it to a 90 to really be able to highlight those 11 rebounds per game Cat's been averaging throughout the entire NBA playoffs. Your interior defense is going to be a 70 in combination with your block of a 79. Use 5 cap breakers here to get it to an 84, and that'll give you that silver paint patroller badge. Now for steal, Cat's not crazy at taking lanes out the air, but he can deflect passes or whatnot, so we're just going to bring it to a 60 for that bronze interceptor badge to give him something to have there. Now for his pass sack, this is important. Cat should have an 87 pass sack. He's been doing an amazing job throughout the NBA playoffs of drawing double teams in the paint or anywhere in the midi and then kicking out for an open 3, whether it's the top of the key or to the corner. He's playing very unselfish basketball in comparison to Wemby, in my opinion. He's making all the right plays, taking open shot, taking what's there, getting his teammates involved, and even though those threes aren't his points, they're still towards his plus negative. He's the reason why they're getting some of these threes. So that pass hack of an 87 is important. Ball handle, we're going to bring it to a 71. He can put the ball down on the ground super well, drive by his opponent, and finish at the rim with ease. And part of that is having a high speed with ball of a 58. Now, like I said earlier, we need a 93-point shot to be able to get that deep bomber takeover badge. We're going to leave the mid-range at an 80. I feel like that's good for him. That's more than enough to be able to knock down an open midi. And then free throw, we're just going to bring it to a 77. Again, more than enough to be able to knock down free throws with Cat. Standing dunk, we're going to bring it to an 85 and use 5 cap breakers here to get it to a 90. Post control, we're going to bring it all the way to an 87. Cat is a very back to the basket player sometimes in the midi when people are on him or in the post, so you gotta have post control with Cat. Driving dunk, we're gonna bring it to an 80. This is good enough to be able to unlock good animations for 1-step driving dunks and 2-step driving dunks. And if you saw in the playoffs, he got to the rim, dunked right on Wemby, screamed in his face, and I'm not gonna lie, I think that shook Wemby up a little bit. He's looking a little shaky on offense now after that, so we give him that 80 driving dunk here to be able to highlight that. His driving layup, we're gonna bring it to a 70 to be able to hit that physical finisher badge and be able to finish at the rim. And then we're gonna give him that 84 close shot to be able to give him that paint prodigy badge. Now, if you continue forward, like you see, you get shades of Karl-Anthony Towns. That's how you know we made a sort of replica-like build. But like I said, I was trying to go for badges and stuff so that y'all could have fun, hit the important badges so that the build could be super usable, and we still end up coming out with a shade of Karl-Anthony Towns. So jumping into the badges, this is the badge setup we're going to be going with for our Karl-Anthony Towns build. We're going to be plus 2ing our limitless range to Hall of Fame. We're going to be plus 2ing our posterizer to gold. We're going to be plus 1ing our post fade phenom. We're going to be plus 2ing our post up poet to legend. We're going to be plus 1ing our break starter to Hoff. We're going to be plus 1ing our dimer to Hoff. We're going to plus 1 our set shot to Hoff, and we're going to plus 1 our handles for days to silver. And then for our clutch jeans, our rebound chaser will be plus 1 to Hoff, and our high flying denier will be plus 1 to gold. Jumping into the takeover, what's a Karl-Anthony Towns takeover without 3-point shot being boosted? So that's the only attribute we'll be boosting here. It'll take it from a 90 all the way to a 99, and then the actual takeover will end up being deep bomber. Like I said at the start of the video, we want to highlight Karl-Anthony Towns being the absolute best center shooting popper in the league right now, in the playoffs, and maybe even in the finals right now. So we'll be going with deep bomber here. Now, jumping into the animation, Karl-Anthony Towns doesn't have a whole lot of animations this year. Hopefully after this playoff run and NBA Finals, they'll show Karl-Anthony Towns a little bit more love, give him some playmaking moves, which he definitely deserves, and maybe give him some animations elsewhere because he has been absolutely hooping this playoffs. So the ones that are in the game, he has a jump shot, he has a free throw, he has his own dunk style, and he has a post fade. So when you see me create a Karl-Anthony Towns in the rec like NBA playoffs video trying to replicate how he plays, these are the animations you'll see me bust out for that. So here's the cap breaker screen just so y'all can see the bigger picture. We use 5 on block to get it to an 84 to get that silver paint patroller. We use 5 on rebound to get it to a 90 to really highlight those 11 rebounds per game he's been getting. We got your 5 on strength to get it from an 86 to a 91 to really highlight that dominant strength presence he's been having in the NBA Finals over Wemby and throughout the playoffs. We got them 5 on standing dunk to get it to a 90 to really highlight being able to score underneath the rim consistently when open. And then we got your driving dunk to an 83 tied with your ball handle, and a speed with ball is going to allow Karl-Anthony Towns to put the ball on the ground and get to the rim with ease and finish at the rim with ease.